We know the release date of the third episode of the Legacy of the First Blade and what the new ability will be called, where the episode will be set, and way more info also about some other future content. So let's get into it. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated, and let's go. Mark March 5th in your calendars, because that is when the third and final episode of the Legacy of the First Blade will be coming. The official Assassin's Creed Odyssey Twitter account confirmed. So kind of as expected, and really soon after the New Game Plus mode as well, that I expect to hit the coming week on February 21st. But we actually learned way more about the third episode thanks to the trophies that appeared on the PlayStation 4, giving us an insight in where the DLC takes place, some cool legendary weapons, and the new ability. So let's start with that one. And yes, that's the warrior ability that Ubisoft teased many times before recently in their February content video. Well, it's called Fury of the Bloodline, and we have to kill 10 enemies using this ability. And I think this once again confirms that it's likely one of the abilities that Demos is using in the main story of the game. But you can actually see it in another situation as well, and I will showcase it at the end of the video for spoiler reasons. But I think that is likely the ability that we will be able to do as well, and that's pretty exciting. We got a new legendary weapon. It could be a bow or something else that has a pretty cool legendary perk. We see the trophy called Surgical Sniper. Heal by getting 10 headshot kills while you have the Golden Harbinger equipped. So the Golden Harbinger is likely a new legendary bow that has the get health back when killing enemies with a headshot perk. Something like that, and that sounds indeed really cool. But people on Reddit are actually speculating that this might be a melee weapon that simply has a bow perk, and I actually don't think that that's a really weird thing to think. The trophy says while you have the Golden Harbinger equipped, not that you kill people with headshots from this weapon. And it would not be the first time that we saw a hunter sort of perk on a melee weapon. We got Colossus Spear that has the plus 20% damage with the multi-shot ability. And looking at the recent legendary weapons that we got from the first and second episodes, we know that a staff and a heavy blunt weapon are still missing. The first episode of the Legacy of the First Blade gave us a new sword and daggers, while with the second episode we got the spear and the really cool looking heavy bladed weapon. And I think this could mean that they want to give a new legendary item for each weapon category, and since the stuff is associated with the hunter playstyle, looking at the increased damage we for example find in the mastery level section, this being a staff with a hunter perk makes a lot of sense, right? We also don't have a hunter legendary staff in the game right now, only an assassin and a warrior staff. Well, actually only an assassin staff, because the warrior staff is a helix item that is of course very hard to get through the Olympian gift. So yes, a legendary hunter staff does not exist in the game yet, so the Golden Harbinger could totally be that staff. A bow of course also makes a lot of sense, because we did not get a bow in the Legacy of the First Blade as well. We also can acquire the Sword of Kings in this DLC according to another trophy. So another legendary sword. I mean, we don't have enough of them in the game yet. I'm of course kidding. Or is this the hidden blade? Yeah, okay, I don't want to get your hopes up. Very small chance. But yeah, there is something called the Sword of Kings in the third episode. But wait a second, now that I think about it, remember that glitched sword that a random Persian enemy suddenly got in a cutscene, as you see right here in footage from Seeks? I showcased this a while back because it was really interesting, because this sword looks a lot like the sword from Prince of Persia that you get at the end of the Two Thrones game. And you know what that sword is called? The King's Sword. I mean, can it be more obvious, right? Sword of Kings, King's Sword. So, I think we're onto something. I think this Sword of Kings is likely kind of a similar sword as the King's Sword in Prince of Persia. I mean, the Edge of Time daggers also looked a lot like the Daggers of Time from Prince of Persia. Not the same name, but still kinda similar. Well, looks like we get another Prince of Persia nod in the third episode. We also have a new gold trophy where we have to kill ancients in the Order of Dominion in Macedonia. So new targets are called Order of Dominion, and they are in Macedonia. And where Macedonia? Okay, I'm now talking as Alexios and Cassandra, don't mind me. Anyway, that did not have a ton of question marks. This region already had a ton of question marks, but really no quest or anything else going on. Well, that will change on March 5th. And now that we know the region of the third episode, it's of course already fun to look at that first Legacy of the First Blade trailer again, that already had some footage of episode 3, and see if we can actually see where those locations from the trailer will be in this region. I will totally be exploring. But of course, when you find something, let me know in the comments of this video, or on Twitter at JorRaptor, or Instagram JorRaptor. There's also one hidden trophy that you of course unlock after you finish the first episode. Don't want to talk about it here because it will likely be a major spoiler. I haven't seen it myself as well. Might discuss it later on, but for now, I will just leave it as it is. I do want to look at other trophies though, because in the additional feats section, so for the free content, 2 trophies that first had no information, now got some information. We got the A Friend Worth Dying For and the Here of Memories, so that we have to complete those likely new Lost Tales of Greece missions in order to get those trophies or achievements, of course, later on the Xbox and PC. So I expect the A Friend Worth Dying For in March, and then the other one in April. That will be my bet. And then we still have a free unknown trophies that likely get some information later on, but maybe more will be added. I don't know, but this falls in line with Ubisoft's latest financials. So I already tweeted about this and actually mentioned it in one of my recent videos that I expected some interesting news following the Ubisoft financials, since last year they actually teased how many AAA games will be coming in the next financial year, and they actually did that this year as well, saying that they are looking into releasing 3 to 4 big AAA games between April 2019 and April 2020. And they also shared that they are really happy with how Odyssey did, saying that the overall numbers of days played, the playtime and the completion rate are all extremely high and higher than Origins. And before this, Origins had the highest average playtime per player. So they are once again saying that they are happy with the RPG direction. So this once again likely confirms that this will be the way of the future for the series. Odyssey did better than expected in terms of sales and will have a longer tail in terms of post-launch content than Origins. And that is not really news, because with Origins it kind of all ended in March, and with Odyssey we still have a full story arc that will likely begin in April and then end in July. So that once again shows you that Odyssey will be supported for longer, but we kind of already knew that. And I expected to hear a little bit more, because a few days ago, for example, we had the voice and motion capture actresses from Cassandra and Alexios in the booth recording stuff. They shared this via Instagram stories. Bravo Vegeta99 noted this on Instagram, so thanks a lot for that. Are they really still doing stuff for Atlantis or future Lost Tales of Greece episodes? Or maybe something that we don't know about yet, something bigger that is planned for later. Ubisoft will do their next financials in May and share more details about their future plans there, so including what type of games we can expect between April 2019 and April 2020. I mean, we already know that Skull and Bones is coming out, likely a new Watch Dogs. So what are those 1 or 2 other AAA games that they have also planned? We really don't know. I will of course keep you up to date here. I just find it hard to believe that they will really not do anything with Assassin's Creed in their next financial year. So no big Odyssey expansion or no new game. I mean, they said no Assassin's Creed game in 2019. Doesn't mean they don't release one in early 2020. I mean, last year at this point we did not know anything about Odyssey, and we really thought that they were going to take another year off, and now that Odyssey is doing really well for them, you would think that there is something more going on. I will likely do a future video talking more about the rumors and the future of the series. It is always interesting and exciting for me to kind of like dig into this, so likely a future video about that. You would also think that if they indeed have nothing for Assassin's Creed in 2019 in the fall, nothing Odyssey related or something like that, why not release Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered in the fall? Why release it now in March? I get it that they want to get it out with the Season Pass of Odyssey and also before the end of their financial year, but still, they also did with Rogue, like they released that in the early part of the year because they had something else in the fall. But yeah, going back to Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, because on the day of the Ubisoft financials we also had a Nintendo Direct where Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered for the Switch was announced. We see some gameplay right here. It's coming on May 21st and has all the solo DLC and Assassin's Creed Liberation Remastered as well. So yes, this will release almost 2 months later than the PS4, Xbox One and PC version, but still cool to play the game on the go, of course. And no, it doesn't look that bad as well, although it will of course be less impressive than the other versions. So yes, New Game Plus is coming, episode 3 really soon. Good times ahead for sure. I will of course cover it here all on the channel. Totally subscribe for everything Assassin's Creed Odyssey if you haven't already. Like the video to support channel. I still want to talk about that new ability and what I think it will look like, but first let's go to Sargon and see how he is doing and if I can finally get the Hades Lieutenant. Yo, Sargon, miss me? Don't worry, I will be here way more often the coming week with New Game Plus and stuff like that. Then you will talk to me again. Then you will have some dialogue with me again, like you had at the early days. Remember the first time we met? You had some cool things to say. Now you're like, yeah, good luck with your Hades Lieutenant search. Well, let's continue that search, shall we? Woo! 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 Mercenary belt, that's crit damage. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Crit chance, of course, on the belt with all damage. I like that. I like that. But Sargon, that's not good enough. It's not good enough. You know what this means. Okay, luckily this guy can die. Of course, the last time we tried to kill this person, it was impossible. Sometimes there are some gods in this world. The gods are real. Anyway, of course, subscribe for everything Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Oh, wait. We were going to talk about the ability, so let's do that. So, spoilers for the end of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because I really think that this will be the ability. Let's take a look. So yes, at the end of Odyssey, you can of course get your family members as lieutenants based on your choices. So if Deimos survives, you can have him or her, him in my case, on your ship, or summon him with the call to arms ability as well. And then he will fight the enemies, but also do this sort of insane ground pound ability that in the end also has these light beams like sort of on the ground. And with the new ability being called Fury of the Bloodline, I think that this is likely the ability that we will be able to do as well, right? It makes sense since they already animated it for both Alexios and Cassandra, so that you can now do it yourself would make sense and would actually be pretty cool. March 5th is when we know the answers. Now we'll of course ask you once more to subscribe if you don't want to miss anything Odyssey related. It helps the channel out, just like a like on this video. Check out my in-depth video on all the February contents coming to the game, and I will of course speak to you next time. Goodbye.